Now, he's the man who designed one of the world's most coveted supercars, and now he's turned his hand to a vehicle designed to transform life in the developing world. Gordon Murray, who built the McLaren F1, was asked to come up with a small truck that can be built from a flat pack. It's cheap and easy to build, yet tough enough to cope with conditions across many parts of Africa and Asia. It's called the Ox, and our transport correspondent Richard Westcott has been along to have a test drive.
It doesn't look like it could tackle some of the worst roads on Earth. On the surface, the Ox could be any other truck until you put it through its paces. This vehicle sort of doesn't make sense when you look at it. It's just an ordinary looking van. It's got these tiny little wheels. It's two-wheel drive, and yet I'm driving it over what could easily be a dry riverbed in Africa. It's really rocky, and frankly it's doing it as well as a 4x4 would do it. In some ways it's actually more comfortable. Believe it or not, the man who designed it also made this. The McLaren F1 is a supercar for the super rich. Ox drivers have very different needs.
Well, when we studied the requirements for where this vehicle is going to end up, there is a requirement for loading livestock, if you hold it there, loading livestock and barrels of fuel and water.
Now, you've designed what some people think is the best sports car ever made. You had all those years in Formula One. How does this rank in terms of how hard it was to design and how proud you are of it?
I know it's probably difficult to believe, but for me this ranks above everything else I've ever done. Designing expensive sports cars, that reaches a few people. This thing will help. This goes into mass production. This will help thousands of people with mobility.
Was it harder than designing the McLaren F1?
I think in a way this is a much more difficult challenge than the F1 was.
Crucially, it flat packs like furniture, so it's cheaper to transport. 3 semi-skilled people can build it in under 12 hours with basic tools. Every part's designed to be easy to fix. All essential requirements for the man who first dreamt up the plan.
Once you understand that people all over Africa and Asia and in different places have no access to motor cars, then you understand immediately why these communities in Africa and these places are so poor.
For the next step, he now hopes to make 1,000 without making a profit. Richard Westcott, BBC News.